Did Wicked create the era of the sympathetic villain? Here's my thoughts. The Wicked is obviously a retelling of The Wizard of Oz that reframes the traditional bad guy of the piece, the Wicked Witch, as the good guy. This idea isn't actually anything new. In fact, there's a lineage that traces back to the 17th century with John Milton's Paradise Lost, where he rewrote Satan, who's arguably the biggest villain ever, as the world's first modern anti-hero. Milton's Satan is often seen as a prototype for every fallen antagonist, and these characters are often way more interesting than the hero. More works like this followed throughout the 20th century, so you had stories like Jean Rhys's White Sargasso Sea that retold Jane Eyre from the perspective of Bertha Mason, and John Gardner's Grendel that retold Beowulf from the point of view of the monster, and portrayed him as a sort of lonely, philosophical outsider. The success of Wicked has really put this type of storytelling back on the map, and now it's kind of hard to move without a villain origin story. We've got films like Maleficent, you've got the Joker movies, and even Cruella, which is wild because Cruella literally kills puppies, but okay, maybe there's a nice side to her character too. So the logic here is basically, how does a person become evil, and maybe there's a good side to them, or something has happened to them that has made them into an evil person. And I find this kind of interesting in that in this day and age, we often look at public figures as either good or bad. We're very keen to just put them in different camps. But at the same time, we're willing to look at the complexity of fictional characters and wonder, well, how did they end up going down that route and becoming evil? And I do wonder, if we keep rewriting villains as misunderstood, are we revealing the truth or are we just flattening it? You know, if every villain is just a victim in disguise, then do we lose the sharpness of conflict in our stories? Because there is something undeniably fun sometimes about rooting against the bad guy. Like, they don't all need to have had something bad happen to them to have made them bad. Sometimes they're just bad, and that's fun too. Humans are generally much more complex than just good or bad, but in putting this into our films and literature to this extent, possibly as a result of Wicked's success, are we losing something? Do we need more clear-cut villains in our stories? Let me know what you think.